Welcome to KTN Life and Style. You are watching Relationship Wednesday. I am one of your hosts, Susan Jeroge, and I'm here with my co-host, Anixie, and we are joined by Maxine and Caroline. Today we are talking about unemployment. Unemployment here in Kenya is something that's talked about a lot, and there's crazy statistics about how many youth are actually unemployed in our country. And we're trying to understand whether there's something we're doing wrong when we're trying to apply for jobs, or maybe there's actually no jobs available. So Caroline is a graduate from all the way in the year 2012. Yes, all the way. And Maxine graduated just this last year, and she's been also has not had a job for a couple of months, but she's decided that she's actually going to go back to school. So before we went for the break, we were talking about, you were mentioning how there's no feedback. You apply for jobs and you never get any feedback. You never even get the response of, hi, unfortunately, you didn't qualify. Yeah, you don't qualify, and we've decided to go with another candidate. I want to ask you this though, because I mean, you're here, you look cute, you're doing well. Yeah. What have you been doing from 2012? Because I mean, you're still with us.
By the way.
You're very, you look fantastic, Caroline. So what is it that you've done since the time of graduation and applying for all these jobs and not getting responses? What did you decide to do to make an income?
All right, I'll just tell my viewers and my listeners, don't despise the times of humble beginnings. Yeah, don't despise the times of humble beginnings, and remove that superiority complex all over you, and things are going to work actually. You know, when you look at our currency notes, hakuna pesa ya ma degree, ma masters, the same value ya 1,000 not kwa hustler.
You know,
same value
of 1,000 okuja mtu akona PhD, doctor somebody.
Exactly. And as long as God has given you two hands, believe me, you can become what you want to be.
That's
and
true.
No person can actually limit you. You know, Eliud Kipchoge.
Are you going to tell us that you are a preacher now or a motivational speaker? I'm like, girl.
Yes, I love God, and by the way, so far it is by the grace of God that I'm here. And so far, what I've been doing is I've been going to Kikomba, actually. I've been buying clothes. Like right now, we are in a season that is winter, there is cold, there is rains. And there is a place where at least I'll come take children's clothes, actually.
Okay.
Yes, you see, when you're doing children's clothes, actually, you can't miss it. Whether it is sunny, whether it is cold, children have to be kept warm.
Yeah,
so
and mothers are always buying their children clothes.
So the key thing here is, if the work industry is not working, have an idea, something that can keep you moving before you come to that actual thing that you really wanted. And actually that has sustained me. I pay my bills, I pay my rent, I do my transportation, everything concerned. I don't depend on anyone actually, and it is working. So I'm encouraging the youths right out there, get outside and do something. You see, God is going to bless the work of your hands. And if there is no work, what is he going to bless? You see?
Fact.
Oh, yeah.
What is he going to bless?
It's the parable of you're given a couple of coins, another one is given 10, one decides to bury one, another one decides to multiply.
Yeah.
You remember that verse in the Bible.
The one I know is very simple. I don't know the parables and all the verses like you, but I know God does not help anyone who does not help themselves. That one.
This is an Ioni Bible Gani, by the way.
Ioni standard. Ioni
standard, yeah.
You can find very many verses that apply to that, but it's true. And I agree. Like you said, God blesses the work of your hands.
Yeah. But again, you know, Maxine, you've decided you're not worried about the whole unemployment thing.
Yeah.
You graduated in June.
Yeah.
So those are quite enough months, no job, yeah? And you're not scared. You don't look at it like a big deal because you've decided to go back to school. So what are your expectations that you're going to come out with probably a master's and then boom, if all the companies are fighting for you? Is that what you're expecting?
They'll be waiting outside the university.
Wanangoja tu Maxine via malize. What are your expectations?
Okay, for me, I don't think I expect anything from the job world. Just like Carol said, we'll have to be innovative. Because if I'm expecting anything from the job world, they're just going to disappoint me again, like they have done these few months.
I'm asking.
Yeah, so why go
Employers,
back for a
where are you?
But then why go back for a master's then?
Actually, I'm not going back for my master's. I've started my second degree.
Okay. What are you studying this time?
Nursing.
What would you like? Nursing.
Wait, IT to nursing.
Yeah.
Girl, you have a story to tell.
I'm also like, but I also feel
Wow.
like the combination can work very well.
I don't see how. Please elaborate.
If you're targeting something like WHO, UNICEF, it has to work.
Like work for WHO and work for.
It has to work.
Okay.
You're going for a big paycheck. I
That's-
like it.
Yeah, also that's very interesting. That's a very interesting angle. Do you feel like the biggest cause of unemployment in our country is voluntary unemployment, for the fact that people are very picky about their jobs?
Yeah, actually, I believe on that. But it is because of what we have been fed with when we are coming out of school, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you went there to study mass communication, and you knew that once I get out from this place, I'm going to be that presenter, I'm going to be that, you know? And once you get out from school, reality hits you on your face. You get me?
Yeah.
And it actually, life teaches you to calm down at some one point or the other.
What
you know?
am I panic?
So that
Relax,
you
figure
come
out
to a
panic.
point where now I am not going to select anything. I am going to pick what comes along my way, as long as still it does not lower my moral standards, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
because there are people who are turning to prostitution to get easy cash. There are
Drugs,
people
selling drugs.
Exactly,
Yeah.
selling drugs. They
Theft.
want theft.
Yeah.
Name it. All these things come across when people are desperate looking for jobs. So I'll tell our youth outside there, don't pick on jobs. Wewe fanya kazi yoyote. You see, someone out there is noting your ability. You see,
That's
even
true.
if you're in that office and you went there for as an accountant, but you've been given works to type, you know, to staple things.
Just do it.
Be the
Just
best
be the
stapler there
best.
has ever been.
Exactly. Utilize your potential there. And you know what? Someone is watching outside there. Yes, and your efforts are actually going to be rewarded.
Right.
Actually, it has been discouraging on our parents, you know. Parents really pour in a lot of cash in this institution.
Education, that's true.
Yeah.
Education. Yeah, it's an investment actually.
And you know, and then after the graduation, you're calling everyone to come and celebrate, and you know, some
More investments.
Yeah, and the people who don't love you actually, or people who don't like education, watasema achana na huyu, atakuja tu hapa, atakuwa mahasla kama sisi.
Yeah.
Si tumeona wengi sana wamesoma na hawananga kazi.
Yeah.
Actually, it is frustrating. It is disappointing. You know, kuna mzazi alikuwa na, there is a parent who was actually saying that, I wish I knew this cash that I've utilized in these universities, ningemwekea biashara kubwa.
Sana.
And by now, it will have been generating a lot of profit.
Yeah.
You see, so our education system, we really have to look on it, as in, let us empower people, you know, such that by the time they're coming outside, they are able to stand on their own without depending on sending applications and all that.
applications.
Yeah.
Well, sending applications is still okay, but let them empower them on other angles, that if this one does not work, hey Carol, hey Maxi, you can be able to do something else
Yeah.
for your survival, you see.
And then you know
Yes.
how we mentioned the government.
Yeah.
I don't normally really speak for the Kenyan government, but today I can try to be on your side. They changed the curriculum, like you're saying,
Right.
and I looked into the new curriculum. I have an 8-year-old sister,
Yeah.
and her assignment is crazy. Yeah, it's that one of they're making these young people's minds become very
practical.
very practical. They're giving them like entrepreneurial ideas at such a young age,
Yeah.
helping them understand how to make money, how to survive. Their exams are things that are vitu zina happen kwa ground, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think for the kids right now in school, I shouldn't expect them to have such a big panic rate, like how we were, it was baptism by fire for us
Yes.
guys, you know. Susan had a story to tell us. You were telling us
My personal story.
your personal story.
Okay, like for me, I will also say, before I tell you my story, one thing that I think is really underrated amongst the youth, and I think we're usually a little bit cocky about it, is networking when you're trying to get a job. If you want to work in a particular industry, going to a company and dropping your application at the reception, I'm sorry to tell you this, that is not enough. It doesn't matter how amazing your cover letter is. It doesn't matter how amazing your CV is. You checked all the typos. You picked the best font. Sorry, I don't believe that that's enough. Because like you said, there's thousands of people graduating every year. We're all going into the same job market, yeah? So find out who is in your industry. This is when you talk to people. You talk to your friends who graduated before you. You talk to your parents. You talk to your uncles and aunts. Somebody will know somebody who works in that industry, in a different company or in an industry that's adjacent, or they're a supplier, or you can get a meeting with somebody. You can get a lunch with somebody. You can meet somebody outside the office and be like, hi, my name is Susan. I really want to work for you in this and this place, in this capacity. Can we meet one day, we talk? Because my dream, I'll work for you, you know? So I think sometimes it's really underrated. And I think people are always like, oh, Kenya is so bad, you must know people. And I'm like, that's every country in the world. Do not put yourself above it. It is competitive. The people that will get that job that you applied for are the people that put in the extra effort. My personal story is I have an economics degree. When I was in university, I thought I would work in a bank. And I love maths, I love crunching numbers. Yeah, but in between graduation and today, let's just say a lot happened. And also, I had that experience of studying something and then working where you think you want to work, and then realizing this is not what I want to do. So when you're in class, you're doing all the statistics, you're doing all the calculus, but then when you go into the work environment, it's totally different, like chalk and cheese, you know? So yeah, there's that as well. And I think also when you're young, be open. You can work for a little while, you can try out business, you can go back to school, you can go back to work, you can go, you know, and also those businesses, you open them, they fail. Like, I'm so happy for you, it has kept you up. So you have to be open-minded and you have to really push yourself. But just stay open. I mean, I'm not working in a bank, and I'm very happy by the way.
Because clearly you're one of the few people that have not, I mean, you were disappointed for the fact that you didn't get employment right away, but then again, you made something good out of it. I mean, you're paying rent, you're getting for your own bills.
Right.
You go, girl, that's the power, okay? But here's the thing, how would you advise people who are in the same position and cannot really grasp what Susan is trying to say? Susan is a very intelligent woman, by the way.
I'm dead.
So for those few people who can't really keep up, what would you tell people? Because there's that thing of you've grown up being told in campus, you know.
Work and hard, study, get good grades, you get a job.
That's the thing. But again, it doesn't mean on this show we're trying to say education won't take you places.
No.
Yeah, I'm actually a true testimony to that.
Yes.
Education is going to take you places. Because again, there is this thing of, it doesn't necessarily have to like take you outside the continent. No. It takes your mind to places. I feel for me like education, as much as it wasn't what I expected, just opened my mind to being, to knowing, to knowledge, to being aware.
And you actually studied what you're doing now.
Yeah, I studied journalism.
Right.
Yeah, I graduated journalism, and here I am. And I really love my job, to be very honest. And I loved my degree. And my school was very practical, I must say. But I worked really hard, in case anybody needs to know. You know? So that's the thing. What would you advise people? Because again, we can't have the back and forth of maybe you go back to school and do another degree. But there is a lady who went abroad,
Yes.
did a master's, and came back. And for 6 years, she's still jobless.
And her master's was serious.
Her master's, I mean, ali fly out kwanza, hata tusiende mbali.
She didn't study huko.
Osi huko, hakwenda sijui.
And she can't get a job.
Ati?
And she can't get a job.
And she can't get a job. So what would you advise? What is that thing that made you realize, wow, I can actually be an entrepreneur? Also, are you willing to go back to mass communication, or you've fallen in love with your entrepreneurial activity?
Okay, when I get a chance, I can prefer also to go back to school because, you know, one thing, once you are educated, no one can steal that knowledge.
That's the thing.
Right from your mind.
100%.
You see, even if someone burns your papers or there is a fire and something happens, the knowledge that is within you cannot be stolen.
That's true.
Meaning that even if I'm an entrepreneur outside here, I can also still, I also have that confidence that I have my papers. In case this does not work, I can always be out there doing something else. So what I can tell the people is try to look for something that is missing in the market area. Like, you will walk outside the gate, see people selling foodstuffs, you know, it is raining, there are no umbrellas, there are no, you know, go look for something that is missing out there. Also work with seasons. What is working within this season? You see, that is going to keep you up. You'll at least be having some few coins on your pocket. You'll not be like, you see, Yeah, so identify something that is lacking. You see, many people try doing things like copy pasting, you know. They want to copy what this one is doing, and then at the end of it all is not working because there's a lot of competition. Look for something that is missing
Yeah.
in that market area, and it is going to work for you.
Amen.
Yes.
And then for Maxine, you're going back to school.
Yeah.
Of course, when you go back, you'll have a more open mind to how you're studying, probably try doing your studies differently, maybe actually do your own projects and not pay somebody to do your projects. Y'all, I see you. What do you feel that you would do different now that you're going back to campus, yeah? For a different degree, just so when you get to the job market, even if you go for internship, because I feel like another cause of unemployment in our country is the frictional unemployment. There's a mismatch of skills.
Yes.
You get employed for this, but your skills are not really equipped for the
Right.
same. So what do you intend to do so that you can probably just be like an overall person in a way that nikienda kwa hiyo ofisi niambie ni serve chai ama I wash a cup, it's going to be the cleanest cup in that room, you know? Or if I come in here as a journalist and they tell me to be behind the camera, hi Cornelius, I'm actually going to do it. What would you advise people to do, or what do you intend to do, just so when you're leaving campus, at least you're a wholesome being?
What I intend to do, first of all, when I was doing my first degree, I didn't really have that mind of doing maybe something outside academics. Like right now, I'm trying to juggle between, I've started already, I'm in KU. I'm trying to juggle between education, maybe doing some online writing, as in
That's
generating
nice.
some cash
Yeah.
for myself also,
Yes.
not only depending on my parents.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've already like finished campus. This is just
Yeah.
another opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just took it because it's not even about, okay, I know I'm targeting some big companies. That's obvious. It's okay to dream big.
Yes.
But as much as I dream big, I have to like do things outside what I've read for, or outside like, I have to have an open mind. That's
Yeah.
all.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and he was talking about something that's called career capital. Career capital is when maybe at the time you're not doing the exact job that you want to do, but you demonstrate skills that show the employer or show potential employers that I can do this job, right? So like I can use you as an example, right? You wanted to do mass media. Now these days, there's a lot of people who want to do certain things and it's very competitive. So what you do to put a leg up, because what happens with job applications is when you read it, it says, oh, we want 5 years of experience. And you're like, this is an entry-level job. I've been in school those last 5 years.
yeah.
Where was I getting the experience from? It doesn't make any sense. And there was actually in the Vox Pop, the first one, the lady was talking about the expectations the employers have and the demands they have are so high, and you can't give those when you've left school. But then there's things like when I was in school, did I start a blog or did I start a YouTube channel? Did I used to give people the news on my social media? Because then I share it on my LinkedIn account. I put it on my CV, you know, I share it on WhatsApp to people. So I'm demonstrating and those are things you have. You use Safaricom data. You call people, you post on social your cute pictures. You use WhatsApp to talk to your parents and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, have you two found experience? Obviously you use your skills like with your business when you're talking to your customers and everything. So in your experience with the job applications, have you found that that thing of demonstrating the skill is something that the youth here in Kenya, we lack, or we don't really understand how to do it? We're so like convinced that the only way I'll get this job is I apply and I'll give my papers and then I get the job. But there's that extra that you need to show. Like now when you were at interning, did you feel that you demonstrated skills to be able to do that job if they were to take you on as a full-time employee?
If you ask me that now, thinking of it, I was also holding back because they were holding back. But
No, it makes sense. It's very
true.
You're
human.
trying
It's
to mirror
true.
them.
Yeah.
because I was holding back, and I really think from right now, given any other opportunities, I think I'll demonstrate other skills that show that I am competent and
Exactly.
consistent enough to be employed permanently somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, you know, there is this thing where people in campuses, don't don't take advantage of the grounds you're on. That one of, okay, I'm doing nursing. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to wake up, go to class, listen to the lecturers, probably not submit my assignments, and then go back home or something like that. There is basketball, there is taekwondo, there is all these games, there is soccer. It doesn't even matter if you're in whatever, if you're a girl, there is lady soccer teams everywhere, and they have big matches. Like, by the way, you don't know, you're probably going to be the next Messi. That's the only football I know, by the way.
Or even the societies with drama club, with music. And there's usually societies even that are aligned to your course. So maybe in nursing, there's an association of all the nurses. You join those things, you even take leadership positions. The president that was the president before you could be the one to get you your next job. You know what I mean? It's also networking, where you make friends who that person you don't know a year from then, there could be that person that connected you to your next opportunity.
That's the thing. So now here is my question though. It sounds like a very extroverted way of living your life just because you're very hungry. But here is the thing again. If you're really hungry for something, you gotta be really hungry and willing to really like just go for it, you know? So we have the introverts again. Who, by the way, we are not gonna forget about you. You can sink yourself into writing. You're an introvert. Yeah? I could low-key tell. I could low-key tell. But you know what I actually wanted to say? You can immerse yourself into writing, and guess what she's doing? Online writing. Perfect examples. Again, we have this category of people. While you're doing all these activities, joining drama club and whatever, there are people who found their passions and careers while at it and have actually decided to drop out of school. So let's talk about dropping out of campus. Do you think it's a good idea to drop out of campus, even if you have a business idea? And if yes, at what point should you decide to drop out of campus? Especially for you, because you have a running business. Yeah.
Actually, I'll not advise people to drop out of campuses because that one will show lack of integrity and lack of concern, especially towards those people who've been paying your education. You're actually paying for that money so that you go there, get educated, graduate, and have your papers. Now you have a business idea. You don't have the papers to show that you graduated. Supposing this business idea fails, what happens to you? You see, you are
so
left
the papers
at a
are a
standstill.
backup.
Yeah, now you, for example, you may have wasted a lot of years outside there trying to look at what is going to work. You know? Yeah, and nothing is actually working, and you're like, I want now to go back to school. And by the time you're reaching to that point of telling a person, assist me to go back there, they're like, no, I can't waste my cash on this kind of a person because the next minute they are going to have another idea.
They leave again.
Going to leave again. So
and I've already paid for the semester.
I've already paid for that semester. So I'll actually encourage guys out there, even if you have that idea, pursue your education, ensure that you graduate, and in future you'll also come to implement that idea.
So you just hold on to the idea.
Hold on to the idea. I've actually learned something that even if doing mass communication never got me a job as a presenter, it has actually assisted me on my job area currently. Because ukiwa mtu wa kuongea sana, you know.
But the way unaweza ongea.
I was like, she can take over the show, I can go have breakfast.
Yeah, ukiwa mtu wa kuongea sana, you know, you'll always be having this clientele. Na si kuongea tu, umesomeshwa the way you're supposed to talk
do
to
it,
customers, you know. And the next minute, they are the ones who are, you know, bringing you referrals that, nani, go to this person, go to this lady pale, anauzanga nguo nzuri, and she'll talk to you well, even if it was, for example, torn somewhere and you never saw it, she's going to exchange it to you. And you see, once you create that good rapport with people, believe me, things are going to work. Even when you're not out there looking for them, they are now the ones now looking for you. And by then, now you become your own boss. Yeah. You see? Yeah, so you will not lack. So what I'll tell people out there is that that education, wacha kuilimit ati nitasoma niende nikakue kitu fulani. Like you see, I did a unit called public relations, you know? And you see public relations will actually fit in any organization, you see?
True. That is
go to Coca-Cola, go to media, go to a manufacturing industry, you'll actually fit there. You can do customer service, you can be a receptionist, you can do something as an administrator outside, you know, within those kind of setups, and yeah, you're going to fit somewhere. Utilize those skills that you learned, make them now applicable where
Yeah.
you are currently.
Yeah.
And believe me, they are going to work.
Let me ask you, in your business, are you doing it solo or have you employed anybody?
Currently, I'm doing it solo
Okay.
because it's something that I started recently,
Uh-huh.
but it is working, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, if it expands, I'll have to get someone else.
Yeah.
In case I'm coming for a show
And I
like
hope
this,
so.
I'll have to.
I hope so.
to
I
let
hope
that
you can get
person
someone
there.
else. Because also
Exactly.
another thing is these jobs are created by people.
Exactly.
We can't all be going into the job market and no one is creating new job opportunities.
That's true.
Now, Caroline, because you studied mass
Mass
communication, I want you to look at the camera. You can use this Cornelius's camera,
Yes.
and you're the one who's going to take us to break.
All right.
Or use Langat's camera.
Uh-huh.
You're the one who's taking us to break.
All right. So my
Your
listeners,
5 minutes of fame.
yeah, I'm really enjoying this show, and discussing this is a pleasure. So I am a person who is available to work. Yeah, it's not just about papers. You can see the ability when we are talking just in the studio. In case it's about marketing or administration or something to do with that, customer service, I can do it perfectly for you, and it's gonna work.
So,
Yes.
now take us on a short break.
All right.
Tell them to
so-
keep watching and to use the
Yeah.
hashtag Kitchen Like a Star.
Yeah, keep your questions coming, our dear listeners, and we'll be there to answer you. And we'll also want you to participate. You know, we want to hear what you're telling us. Yeah, thanks a lot.
We'll be right back, guys.